What is going on? It is Nate the Game Guy coming back with another video at hand, and today I want to talk to you guys and share with you guys games on the Nintendo 64 that I am playing and revisiting in the year of 2025. These are all games that I am currently enjoying at this moment, and some of these games I am revisiting and other games I am playing for the very first time. Now, of course, with all these games, I'm not going to rank them in any way, shape, or form. I'm not doing a worst to best or best to worst. These are just games on the Nintendo 64 that I am currently playing this year in 2025. Of course, the Nintendo 64 is easily one of my favorite game consoles of all time, and I just have to go back, replay it, and have myself a great time with all these games. So without further ado, let's dive right into this video subject, take a look at some games that I am currently playing in 2025 for the Nintendo 64, right after the intro. Now, the first game that I am revisiting right now on my Nintendo 64 is Cruisin' World. I really loved the Cruisin' games from back in the day. Cruisin' Exotica was my personal favorite and also the second video game that I ever owned in my collection of video games. So the Cruisin' games really do hold a special place in my heart. And out of the Cruisin' games, when I used to play them on the 64 and in the arcades, it was Cruisin' World which was the title that I played the least. So of course, since I've dusted off the 64, felt a little bit nostalgic lately, out of the three Cruisin' games, I really want to play Cruisin' World is because that is the one that I played the least. Having myself a great time going through the different tracks and seeing how the cars are all themed off of cars in real life. So I will say I'm really enjoying myself lately when it comes to kicking back and playing some Cruisin' World. Now, a kart racer that I've been enjoying myself lately with is Mickey's Speedway USA. Yes, I think Mario Kart 64 and Diddy Kong Racing are much superior games when compared to Mickey's Speedway, but for what the game has to offer, I'm not really too disappointed by it. I do think that it could be a bit more challenging, but that's just my overall criticism with it. I do think that the game does offer a pretty fun experience. I was a little disappointed that there were only 12 tracks in the game, but with the time that I spent playing with Mickey's Speedway USA, I did enjoy myself overall. I do think that the game was a game that I felt like I had to try out simply because it is a game made by Rare, the same people responsible for Diddy Kong Racing. So I do think this was a game that I felt the need to check out, and I am pleased with my decision in going and checking out to see how Mickey's Speedway USA is on the 64. Now, another Rare game that I've been enjoying myself with is Perfect Dark. I've really been enjoying revisiting this one with the different gadgets and how the game plays overall. I've lately been playing this game with the Retro Fighters Brawler controller. I think this is a controller that feels so good when it comes to playing first-person shooters. If for whatever reason you guys do not have the Retro Fighters Brawler controller, I strongly recommend that you guys do check it out. I'll leave a link in the description down below where you guys can order one of these. But I will say, when comparing Perfect Dark to GoldenEye, I do feel that Perfect Dark should be more up there when it compares to GoldenEye. After all, these are two games made by Rare, and I would be willing to argue that these games are at the same level of how enjoyable they are. GoldenEye is absolutely a classic, and I think Perfect Dark should get a little more love. I'm very thankful with my decision of going back, replaying Perfect Dark, because I'm having a great time replaying this Rare classic. I'm sure that anybody watching this video is not going to be shocked at all in the slightest when I say that Super Mario 64 is another game on the 64 that I am revisiting in 2025. This game is just such a classic. I love the different places you can go to, the way that you can collect the stars. The game was just phenomenal back in its day. I beat this game multiple times and I plan to do so again. I've had nothing but great memories playing this game, and this game is easily in one of my top 5 personal favorite games of all time, so it only makes sense if I'm feeling a little nostalgic, feeling like dusting off the 64, that Super Mario 64 is one of those games that I'm going to gravitate towards, and this is easily going to be a game that I'll be visiting 5 years, 10 years, 15 years later on down the line to play this phenomenal classic of a game. Now, a unique title that I finally got around to playing is Iggy's Wreckin' Balls. I like how this game combines both platforming and racing together with how you are trying to race your opponents from point A to point B, with how you are trying to maneuver around the tracks and how you are trying to go up the different floors. I feel like this game is very creative, and I really enjoy the take that Acclaim did with this title from back in the day. This is a game that I've been wanting to try for a very long time, and now since I've had the opportunity to play it, I'm certainly taking that opportunity and I'm having a blast. This is a pretty fun game. I'm certainly enjoying it lately. Now, another racer that I've been enjoying myself with on the Nintendo 64 is Hot Wheels Turbo Challenge. I remember renting this game and I had a great time playing this game, especially since I was a huge fan of Hot Wheels when I was a little kid. Now, playing this game in 2025, I am still enjoying myself playing this game. However, one gripe that I have when it comes to this game is the fact that I feel like when you go off the ramp and you are trying to do tricks or whatever, I feel like the controls are way too sensitive. If that wasn't the case, I think this would be a much better game. But overall, I still think this is a great racer to play that is so much fun to play going down memory lane in 2025. Now, here's another Nintendo 64 exclusive that has taken me a very long time to get into, and that is Bomberman Hero. This platformer is pretty solid. I really like the game. I like how you are able to throw your bombs at the different enemies. I've never really had much of a history when it comes to Bomberman. This actually might be my first Bomberman game, but I will say when it comes to Bomberman Hero, this is a really fun platformer. The soundtrack is just plain awesome. I love the soundtrack. The game overall is a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying myself. I wish I played this game much sooner because, wow, this game, really fun, really solid. I am liking it. Now, this is a title that I have played before, but not on the Nintendo 64 until now, and that is Blast Corps. This game, I am really enjoying it lately. I like its destruction of how you are able to pick the different vehicles to help you clear the path to transport the missile. This is a game I would have absolutely enjoyed when I was a lot younger. It just took me quite a while for me to finally play this. Granted, I played this game about 11 years ago when the Rare Replay Collection came out for the Xbox One, but it isn't until now that I am finally playing this game on the original hardware when this game was released on the Nintendo 64. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoy the destruction that comes with it, the vehicle choices and how you get to pilot the mech and all these little different ways on how you can clear your path. It's a very fun game. I'm really enjoying it. And if you're looking for a budget title that isn't too expensive on the Nintendo 64, it can't go wrong with this. Pretty fun. I'm really loving it. Great game. Now, an arcade racer that I finally decided to try on the Nintendo 64 is Ridge Racer 64. This is such a fun arcade racer. I feel like the Ridge Racer series is just an overall great arcade racing franchise. It took me quite a bit to finally play Ridge Racer 64, and I'm having a blast with how you can drift around the corners, the soundtrack. It's a very fun arcade racer on the 64. I don't know what it is about the console itself, but I feel like the Nintendo 64 has a great library of racing games. I feel like the console's definitely got you covered, whether you're someone that's into kart racers or arcade racers or whatever in between. There are so many great racing games on this console. The 64 does not miss when it comes to great racing games, and with Ridge Racer 64, that's just another great racing game that the console has to offer. Now, another awesome platformer that I've been revisiting on the Nintendo 64 is Yoshi's Story. It's been a very long time since I've beaten this game, so I feel like I must go back and replay it and have myself a great time. This platformer is very simplistic, but it can be challenging. However, when it comes to Yoshi's Story, the only thing that I don't like about the game is the fact that when you have the different pages, there are 6 pages total in the game, and if you finish a level in a page, you go to the next page, and I feel like the game can be beaten very quickly. I wish you could do is pick the other levels on the pages, and then once you finish all the levels on a page, then you proceed to the next page, but that's just my personal take. Overall, I am enjoying Yoshi's Story. I think it is still a very fun platformer to play to this day. Having a great time, of course, and when it comes to some exclusive titles on the 64, Yoshi's Story is certainly getting the job done and providing me a very fun experience. Hey guys, thank you so much for checking out my video. Please be sure to check out these videos here, here, and here. After all, I post a lot of content when it comes to game collecting tips, and other video game related subjects. So be sure to keep an eye out every Monday and Friday where I upload consistently, and I'll be seeing you guys next time.